We live?
We live.
That's right.
Welcome back to the Opinion Factory podcast, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers. I'm Alex.
I'm Khelil.
I'm Jesse.
And man, what's on your mind today, man? We did ghosting last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it got me thinking about like toxic people, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, I was thinking like maybe not, since we were talking about how not everyone deserves to be ghosted, it's like how do you make that call? Like not even just to ghost them, but like just to cut them off in general.
You ever cut somebody off?
I have. It's not fun, and it's a tough call to make. So I'm not even sure like it was the right call.
I think it just depends if the person is toxic.
But how do you know though?
What factors your decision?
We talked about that last week. Like how do you know someone's toxic?
Yeah,
right?
you've got your own criteria for it, I think.
Like
everybody's got their own thing.
Like, does it just take one violation to be a toxic person?
Depends on the violation.
Yeah, honestly, if they pour their milk before their cereal, they're cut. Honestly, if they do that first, they're out of my life for sure.
What if they're like one of those people who put the toilet paper but like facing the opposite way, like the wrong way?
Wait, hold on. What's the wrong way?
So the wrong way is when the part that you pull down is on the far side.
Oh, you mean they do under instead of over?
Yeah.
Yeah, cut them. Honestly, they're cut. I can't fuck with that. It doesn't make any sense though.
It really doesn't.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess realistically, like, yeah, there's a couple of things that that if you don't want it in your life, then you should cut it.
What if
out.
that's just like a character flaw of that person, but they're otherwise a good person?
It's too big a flaw.
I might have definitely, you might have just like cut some good people out of your life.
Yeah.
Good people.
But you cut a good person off with a bad trait? That seems kind of drastic.
That actually reminds me of something though. There are some people that you can only deal with in doses though. It's like they're cool. They're cool for a bit, but you can't chill with them regularly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think there's some people like that, and then in that situation, it's just like okay, I'm gonna just like
cut back, not cut off.
yeah,
Cut back. There's definitely some people
But
I
do
could
you-
hang out with.
but
Like,
do you tell them though? I haven't told mine.
oh,
I just like
that you're cutting
just-
them off?
No,
No, you're cutting
we
them
just,
back.
We just cut
Oh.
back on chilling.
Yeah, you just hang out less.
Yeah, is that trash?
I don't think that requires a conversation.
No, that's not true. Yeah, I mean, it's just like I can only see this person for 2 hours per week. so like,
Well, like maybe 3 days out of the week.
yeah. Oh,
Is that too much?
that's a.
I mean,
depends
in
on how
my-
long.
In my circumstance, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how long. If it was like 40, damn, even 40 minutes a day. That sounds like a lot.
Why be friends then?
If it's 40 minutes straight,
Yeah, they cool. They
They're
cool.
cool.
people.
Sometimes
Only 40
people's-
minutes? Is that worth it? That's not what I was
no,
talking about when I said
no,
you're a
they're
good
still
person with
cool,
a bad
but
trait.
maybe their personality is just too much for you to handle
There becomes
for 40 minutes straight.
Exactly. There comes a time where it's just like, all right, this dude's doing too much now. Like,
And that's your friend?
yeah.
Yeah, they talk weird,
But why be friends with someone like that? If
Because
you can't stand
but
them for
they're
too
still a
long?
good
Cool.
person.
And
Yeah,
you like hanging out with them, but after a while, it's like, all right, now it's like, all right.
I'm burnt out.
So you don't call it a friend though. You call it like an acquaintance.
Nah,
We still, if we cooling
Well,
with
that's a connection.
if we're cooling with chilling, man, I think
that could be a
I
friend.
think we're friends.
There's just only so much you can handle. Like if you're an introvert and you're hanging out with people, there's only so much of that you can handle.
Right. You got the social barrier, and when that runs
Yeah,
out,
and then you
recharge.
got to recharge. Just like there's this person.
But that's not because of the person though.
Yeah, this person drains my battery a little bit faster. I gotta recharge. That's fine. I think that's totally fine. I mean, there's definitely some people. I don't want to say specifically, but I feel like there's definitely some people that I've met that's just like, I can meet you for 20 minutes a day, and then I'm like, all right, I've had more than enough of this.
You can't do that.
I can't do that.
You can't be friends with them?
I couldn't call them a friend. I could know them maybe, but I couldn't call them a friend. If I could only handle you for 20 minutes, 40 minutes a day,
I think I could.
I can't even chill with you for the night.
Now it's
And you're my friend?
The whole night?
Yeah.
What's the whole
no,
night?
You can. I mean, I'm saying situations you can, but after a while, it's just like, all right,
6:30 to 9:45.
that's enough. That's enough for the week.
Can't hang out, watch a movie, play some games,
We
watch a
can,
show maybe.
but
We can watch a movie because
enough
if
for
you're
the
watching a
longer
movie,
than
they're just
40 minutes.
yeah, but they're just not. If it's a movie, they're probably not talking the whole time then.
All right, true.
So their personality is a little bit suppressed. I feel like at that point.
All right, so you don't need conversation to cut back though, but cut off. Do you need conversation for that? Like,
Ideally,
what's the biggest violation now? You'd be like, I'm never talking to you again.
maybe like one of your friends is like really braggadocious about cheating on their partner or something like that.
That's like
Oh,
cut off.
man.
Okay, that's just an example. All right.
Yeah, it's like you wanted like a good example of.
If there's someone that does something that you just don't agree with, If they're like, I steal from every store I go to.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that.
Every time they go to a new store, like cover me. I'm just like, I can't do this shit anymore. You're fucking toxic, dude. You gotta stop stealing, or we're not gonna be friends anymore. That's the reason.
What if you never with them when they do it though? What if it's like all solo missions?
Oh, if it's just a hobby, then
I still couldn't mess with him.
keep doing that.
I still couldn't mess with him.
Nah.
You know what they say, man? If you steal from big business, it's probably blessed. I think it's fine. That's what they say.
Like if you don't steal from like the convenience store, but you steal from Walmart.
Yeah, you can't steal from the mom and pop, but if you steal from Walgreens, like you're blessed. Like, everybody's stealing from Walmart, Target. Like, all right, you can do that. But if you're stealing from like an actual person in real life,
But
like taking someone's purse off the bus, like
That's a whole different.
that's different. But you're stealing from like you're stealing from Walmart. You're
Like, what if your boy got a new phone? Like, oh, bro, when did you get that?
Yeah.
I got it last night. This bum was walking the street by himself.
Yeah,
ran
that shit. I had my knife on me. I told him to run that shit. Yeah.
Is that not? But you'd cut back. You wouldn't just cut off.
I would cut off.
Oh.
Cut off?
I would, what?
That's kind of frightening, bro.
No, cut off.
that could be somebody you know, bro, that they robbed.
Could be.
Like, there was this time when I was working. I was working as a chef, and I got my phone stolen, and I never found out who did it. And it turned out that my boy got fired not so long after that because he was stealing people's phones. Now, it could have been him. It could have been him. I don't know. But I never spoke to that man again. I never spoke to that man again.
They said for stealing.
They caught him stealing. They caught him on the camera going to this girl's purse. I think he stole her weed and her phone.
Yeah, I'm in trash, bro.
And this was a couple of weeks after my phone got stolen. Now I don't know if it was him, but he got cut off.
We don't want to make any assumptions.
A man stealing from you or somebody you know, that's a cut off. Okay, that's cut off.
And I didn't even talk to him about it, which is not fucked up because he didn't deserve it.
Yeah, but even if they're stealing from a stranger, like that stranger could have been somebody that you know. It just happens that they're not.
Even if it wasn't somebody you know, that's still.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so if it's a stranger, it still should raise as much flags as if they were stealing from a friend.
And if it was in this situation, would you talk to them like, yeah, I can't mess with you like no more? Or would you?
I feel like that'd be problematic.
I mean, how much? Like, how well did you know them though?
Well, we spoke at work.
Yeah, it was a coworker, right? And you weren't friends. You were just like friendly at work.
Yeah, and like we worked in a mall plaza kind of place, so we went to like some stores sometimes after work. But that was it. We never like texted much or met up.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, based on that, you really don't. I mean, you might not need a conversation.
Right. So I didn't know him that well, right? I wasn't in his personal life.
Yeah, well, for someone you were close
very
to.
much.
Yeah, if you hang out like outside of work, I mean, you hung out after work, where you worked,
right?
But you didn't say like, let's meet up on a Saturday.
Well, we worked on. Well, yeah, like on a day that we're not working.
Yeah, let's meet up on a day that we're not working and go do go-karts or some shit. Like,
nah,
you never did
never
that shit.
did that.
Let's do a double date. Like, that never happened.
So it depends on how long you've known them.
I mean, I feel like that's one of the factors. It depends on how long. It depends on how well you know them. It depends on
what they did too.
Yeah, what they did.
Because we asked that last week. Like, what if they don't know?
Oh, if they're just dense.
Yeah, or like, not even if they're dense. Like, if they just if they don't think what they did was wrong.
You lack self-awareness at that point if you don't know what you're doing is wrong.
Or you probably just
if the majority of other people think it's wrong.
If I'm telling you I'm doing the like other people.
What do you?
Like if I'm like stealing from other people.
Yeah.
Like it's not me, so it's like all right.
But do they know that stealing is supposedly wrong?
They can know it's wrong, but they don't know that's your cutoff potential. Though.
But that's objectively wrong.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about like in a more subtle way.
Yeah.
Like what if I don't know. Like what if they were a hypocrite?
Oh,
right?
I mean,
like if we're doing this, right, and you're rich, you got money, whatever, so you're always traveling, and I'm like, yo, Alex, you got to be here when we record.
Yeah.
You can't be over here doing shit on the days that you know we're supposed to be here. But as soon as I start making money, yo, Khelil, we got the pot. Where you at? I'm in Japan, bro. What's going on? I probably won't think that's wrong because now I got money, I'm doing what you're doing, but now you're like, yo, that's
I'd call you out on it first, though. We've called out some people when they change behavior.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been acting differently, you fucking bean.
So then it deserves a conversation before they get cut off. Or do you think even just that is worth cutting them off for? I don't think so.
Like, if we got a pod together, I mean, we can't really just cut them off. It's part of the...
But if they're consistent, well, I guess then...
It depends on how many times...
The discussion would
be
be
Yeah, it depends on how many times you've done it.
Yeah, because you kind of like work together at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, reasonably speaking, if you know somebody well and they change up their behavior, or you notice something that you didn't notice before, someone says like they show up to work like, I just fucking stabbed my grandma last night or some shit. You're just like, holy, yeah. You're just like, we gotta talk about this.
Bro, what?
I ain't talking about shit. The hell my house.
You're gonna show up with some body armor and talk about how they did that to the grandma.
What I'm thinking about is I know people tolerate a lot because they know someone for a long time, right?
Sure.
They get comfortable being with that person, whether it's like a friend or a relationship that they have, and so they tolerate a lot of stuff before they actually cut them off. Things that they're not supposed to. Like even after a 2-year relationship, it can still end after one violation, depending on what the violation is.
Of course.
Without a conversation, depending on what happened.
This is at my mom's. You out here, bro?
Really?
Yeah.
Or if I got a kid, right?
Disrespect your baby?
Or like smack them without my permission or something like that.
See the kid be like,
Or like if my kids
shove him to the ground real quick, bro.
Smack him in front of you.
Like if my kid's being bad or whatever, and you like maybe it's out of discipline, so you don't think it's wrong because you're disciplining them, but you smack them in the face. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
But yeah, you have a conversation first. It would be cut off.
They did it in front of you.
Like in front of me, like we're having dinner, and my kid comes up and he puts like sand in your drink or something like that. I don't know. Forget about where he got the sand. All right.
Wait, you live on the beach.
And you're like, oh, what's wrong with you? Bah.
You just smack your kid, just flick him by the ear, maybe.
Well, if I slap you for not raising a kid right now. What the hell that man doing putting sand in my drink?
Yeah,
bro?
maybe I should cut you out for fucking not raising your kid right.
Now I'm the toxic person. Right?
You should have fucking raised your kid, putting sand in people's drinks.
So that's another question. How do you know when you're the toxic person? Like we had that, you put that meme in the chat the other day, right? When the girl asked that guy for $20 because her child had a field trip last minute.
Oh, man, we can have a whole part about that.
And he was like, nah, that ain't my kids. You got like 3 baby daddies and 2 kids. Ask them before you ask me.
Oh, you saying she's toxic?
She's toxic in my eyes because I can't talk to you no more.
She don't get along with her baby daddy?
Oh, she said that she can't talk to him
like,
anymore because she can't rely on him for extra like last minute money.
Last minute money for her kids that she has another baby father for.
I mean,
and she was like, you know what? I don't want to talk to you no more.
Honestly, sometimes I
Aren't
just
you
don't got
toxic
it.
for not wanting to be a stepdad?
But the thing is, the thing about this, he was not in the stepdad role though, because she said, I don't want to talk to you no more. That makes me think that it wasn't a relationship basis; they were on a talking basis. And if we're on a talking basis, I'm not paying for your damn kids.
Yeah, honestly, like I can see
Not
somebody.
at all.
But she only asked for $20 though.
I've never even seen that much
What do
money
you
at
mean
one
only
time.
$20? Because if it's nothing, she should have it, right?
Oh, you're absolutely right.
What do you mean only? Like I saw that argument in the comments. Like all the females like, yeah, you can't mess with him. Run away from guys like that. It was only $20. But if it's only $20, why didn't she have it?
But the thing is, if you knew she had kids before you got into that talking level,
that doesn't mean you step into the kids' roles right away.
That's
but
not.
you know
what
what
you
it might come with though. No.
What?
After a while.
After how long a time period got passed?
Yeah.
You gotta
reach,
get
man.
past the talking phase.
Yeah, I mean,
she said I don't want to talk to you no more. You gotta at least pass the talking phase
you be
for your
stepdad,
kids.
all right. I mean, maybe, but the thing is, like, if you like have a friend that has a kid, when you become friends with that person, you're like, all right, at some point, this person might need money for their kid.
If you're friends with them,
You don't consider that. Yeah, if you're friends, even.
yeah, and I don't think they would ask a friend that you just made. Like, would you do that? Like, if you made a friend at work, but you got a kid, would you ask him for $20? Like,
honestly,
just building the relationship. That's something that you need a foundation for. You can't be asking for that.
I
when
mean,
you're still building.
It would have to be like completely like nobody else to ask at that point. Like ask my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister.
Even then, at that point, I just ain't got it.
And some like I can't ask someone like a friend that I just made. That's weird.
At that point, I ain't
That's
got
strange.
Because that happened to me. Like, I know some women would actually get upset if you come in thinking that you're about to step into the stepdad role right away. Like the girl that I dated, that girl from the ghosting episode, she had a kid.
Okay.
Right? And when we first started talking, I was like, you know, I was like, I don't know what you expect from me, but I'm not ready to step into this kid's life. You know, as a father, I don't know, you know, what's going to happen in that area.
Yeah.
And she got offended. She's like, my kid got enough in his life already. He don't need you to step in. He's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
She's
Right.
my hero. Papa K.
She ain't nobody's hero right now. Well, she could be doing good now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, let's
Shouts out to her.
give her some credit, I guess.
Yeah. She's good in that regard. So I know some women who get offended. But that meme, she's making it seem like he's toxic and that she's cutting him off. But in my eyes, she's wrong.
Oh, so what if y'all both are toxic?
How do you know?
Each other, bro.
You both trash. Yeah, that's true.
Y'all both just trash.
You deserve each other.
Garbage to garbage. I mean, it's fair.
Like if she cheated, so you cheated on her, and now you both together just cheating on each other. You deserve each other.
Yeah, then you both know that each other cheat, but you don't say nothing about it.
you deserve each other.
Just take it towards cheating every night. At that point, just open the relationship, keep it a buck.
Simple. When you're both toxic, it's simple.
Okay.
But how do you know when you're toxic? Like you don't have it. Just
you just might not have that self-awareness.
Exactly, like that woman from the meme.
when you're doing something wrong, they're like, I didn't know that was wrong.
I don't want to use that as an example though.
From the meme?
Yeah, because it's could be dicey. I can understand what people
Could be a little dicey.
Nah, I don't. I'm gonna hold my ground on that.
That's for another episode, man.
Yeah,
I feel like it
I want
relates to this though.
I want to use like a more clear-cut example. Like yeah, you just like say you know somebody and like for example you know somebody and you'll be talking about something and they don't care that you're talking about something. They just come in with something else.
Yeah.
You know they do it consistently. It's like we're talking about. Let's say we're talking about like work, whatever.
And they don't care about your day.
And then some guy just comes in talking about
They don't give a fuck.
like his kids or some shit, or just like something mad random. Like I don't even know.
You said some guy.
Yeah. Oh, some dude you're cool with. You guys talking a full conversation about like
You're
work or
cool.
whatever. And he comes in.
Yeah,
Like,
you're friendly on like a work basis.
yo, this thing happened to me last night, or I don't know.
I'll just cut back on him. That's a
We-
cutback.
we-
Yeah.
we call him up.
I mean, how many violations does it take at that point?
Oh, it'll take a lot.
Depends on what they're doing, I think.
That'll take a lot of straws. If it's just like that, then maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
So I'll just cut back.
It's really easy to be like ignorant about that particular thing. It seems a little bit more minor,
Yeah.
honestly. But if it's someone that just like, you know, I have a couple of friends and I fucking, you know, like I stop talking to them for 6 weeks whenever they have a little disagreement. You know, they just like, I consistently just stop talking to all my friends. It's fine. They don't need me. Or like whenever they like need me for something, I'm just like I put my phone on silent. I say I was asleep.
And you think that's okay?
Yeah, that's what they say. There was like yeah, one of my girlfriends yesterday. She texted me last night to give her a ride home, and I was at home watching Netflix, and I didn't want to give her a ride home, so I just ignored her. Happens a lot.
But there's no way for her to know that though.
Which one?
Doesn't make you less trash. Though.
Yeah, why'd you say
But
that?
if they don't know how, the other person's not gonna know you're toxic though. If I'm asking you for a favor,
Yeah, but
I won't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah, but you know that they're toxic because they're telling you that. That's
So they're saying what they did to their other friend.
yeah. They're telling
So
you
now
what they
you're
do to their other
thinking
friend.
maybe
But
They're doing it to you, too.
what if y'all are closer?
That's a good point too,
What
huh?
if y'all are closer than her and the other friend though?
Maybe you
So
are.
you're like, oh, okay, she's not gonna do it to me.
You can't.
still like that.
You don't know. You just or they just say like, yeah, it's one of my
But
friends.
they wouldn't tell you if they thought you might do the same thing to her.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
So they're just talking to you. They're venting to you. Let's say you had like, you know, you're drinking or you're having some dinner. They're like, yeah, one of my friends. They sometimes text me asking for a ride home, and I just ignore them. I just act like I'm asleep. I do it all the time. I don't know how they get home, but they probably do.
I feel like that's minor. I feel like that kind of thing. If it's someone that you know that you're cool with and they're doing that, I'll just talk to them about it. To be honest, but I feel like that's minor.
What if they do it to multiple friends?
I still think it's minor.
That's interesting.
Ooh.
I still think it's minor. That's something I will talk to them about, and if they don't change that, or if they ultimately do it to me, if I suspect they do it to me too, then that's something that we can talk about. But that's not something I'll cut them off.
What if they
for.
just say like, I was actually sleeping? You can't tell.
You can't tell, bro.
And they do it all the time?
It happened
Sure.
a few times. You reached out.
I'll talk to them and maybe cut back, but not cut off.
They hit you the next morning like,
Cutting off
damn,
is
my
a
bad,
huge-
I was napping.
Cutting off is a huge deal, bro. Because implicitly, once you cut them off, there's no second chances. So once that bridge is
I don't
burned,
know, bro. I don't know, bro.
once that bridge is burned,
Nah, bro.
I mean that's what it means when you burn the bridge. There's no way back.
I just rebuilt it.
There's no way back.
You send the boat.
It's a new bridge, bro. There's a lot of
You assume it's
examples
water.
we can make for this shit.
What if it's just like it's an abyss?
Oh,
Paper
yeah.
plane, bro.
Yeah, rebuild the bridge, fam. You have to.
Paper plane.
Is it lava? Paper plane? I feel that.
So you think there's second chances after a cutoff?
Yes.
For sure.
100%.
100%.
People make mistakes, bro.
And how do you know that person deserves a second chance?
You don't.
It's
take a leap of
implicit.
faith? You
It's
trust
based
them?
on your own
No,
discretion.
it's based on your own discretion. They're changing behavior.
100%.
That's the only reason. That's the only way.
Honestly, you just get lonely.
If you cut them off, how do you know the behavior changed? You're not really in contact with them.
Nope.
They try to come back in your life and be okay.
And they say what maybe they know you want them to say. You don't know if it's sincere.
You don't.
And they can say anything.
Maybe.
So you have to judge them based on not only that discretion, but you also have to judge them based on like what they do with other people.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
don't-
like if it's like some no, but if it's like the situation you said, if it's something where okay, I've done this to other people and now I've done it to you, it's like yeah, I'm not gonna let you back because this is who you are.
But what if now they don't do it to other people?
That's too bad.
But you don't know that.
Nah, that's too bad.
It also depends on if you know why. Like if they know why you cut them off in the first place, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because then they can tell you what they think you need to know, what they think you need to hear.
Right.
So it's like I'm a changed person. I don't do that to people anymore. I realize the error of my ways, etc.
I wouldn't
so
trust
forth.
that though.
Especially
after multiple violations.
People can change, especially like if they get cut off by multiple people, they feel like, damn, this shit's actually trash.
People
Gotta
can
stop stealing from
change,
Walgreens.
So you think the thing is, if you let them back in, if they do that thing again, you can't even blame them. That's 100% your fault. 100% your fault.
Honestly,
you take, bro.
reasonable, 100% reasonable.
It's the risk you take.
If you cut them off, you let them back in, they do it again. It's your fault.
Is that a risk worth taking? Especially if it's something you cut them off
Depends
for
on
before.
what the violation was, bro.
You cut them off for this violation before.
Sure.
So this was something that you know you can't deal with no more.
Yeah.
And now you let them back in, knowing full and well that they could potentially do it again.
There are certain sometimes you cut them off for something that they don't do to you, but they do to other people. So if you let them back in and then you realize they're doing it to other people again, you're like, it doesn't particularly affect you, it just affects how you feel about them. If this person comes back, they start stealing from Walgreens again, bro. You're just like, I fucking told you. I don't like that shit, bro. You're stealing from companies even then, or like they're like, that's fucking. You find out they stole their teacher's purse, dude.
Oh my god.
Took the professor's purse from
That
her.
reminded me of this story, but my freaking couple of years back, I used to work, right after I finished college, I worked at this factory with my cousin. Terrible place, honestly. Terrible.
I remember that.
Dudes was like,
Shout out to the factory.
Dudes was like drinking on the job.
Oh, sounds lit, actually.
Oh no, these dudes were operating like heavy machinery, bro.
Oh, risk you have to take, bro.
Had this one dude tell me about how like his wife or his girlfriend of like 6 years left him because he punched the wall next to her face, and all this type of stuff, right?
Oh,
Reasonable.
But I remember one day we went to, there was this other coworker that we were kind of cool with, so we went to IHOP with him. And then picked him up Saturday morning, right? We picked up an early shift on Saturday, we picked up extra shift on Saturday. And we're like, oh, let's go to IHOP after our shift's done. And we went to, the dude lives near there, so we picked him up. We asked him how his day went, or how his night went last night. And this dude's like, yeah, I just did some coke off for a hooker's ass last night.
what a life. Honestly, my guy is a hero.
I mean, we did, and then we went out to eat with him. And he was like, yeah, he's like, yo, bro, if you do that coke stuff, I'm not gonna chill with you anymore.
Whoa, coke is a cutoff?
Coke is 100% a cutoff.
Oh,
You want to cut somebody? A dude tells you to coke off hookers ass, bro.
cannot.
No, I had the conversation. No, but that's the thing. We had the conversation with him. He was like, yo, if you do that type of stuff with him, I'm not gonna chill with you anymore. Bro, because no, it's funny too, bro. This dude, he got like multiple plates of food, and there was one plate he didn't touch, and we was like, I was about to like, like, oh, we could just share it with the rest of us since he's not eating it. But I'm like, this dude just said he did coke off a hooker's ass last night. I don't want to be anywhere near any of his food, his mouth on, bro.
I 100%. I get
Not
it.
trusting him. There's some things that was just like,
They've been having a bad night, man.
I get it.
No,
However,
no,
I'm not gonna lie.
no.
Like, I wouldn't cut somebody off for coke.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, bro.
Like,
No, but you
don't
had
know
a
if he's
conversation.
abused or if he's addicted.
I mean, the man looked like I thought he was 35. He's 25. Yeah.
It's just a little bit of that snow.
I mean, you worked in the factory. I mean, that shit was trash.
You said it was
right?
stressful. People deal with stress in different ways.
Coke?
It's one of them.
Coke, bro? Nah.
And the thing is, at that point, if it's substance abuse, 100%.
But that doesn't sound like
You have the conversation with the person. So we went up and told him. We're like, or he wanted to. I said he said because he was close to him. He's like, if you do that type of stuff, or even tell me about it, I'm not gonna chill with you anymore.
All they have to do is just not tell you about it.
What'd he say?
At that point?
Huh?
What'd he say?
Oh, he changed his life around. It's actually quite remarkable.
I can't tell if this part's real. This part of the story sounds made up.
I'm so serious, bro.
It sounds
He stopped doing. Well, he stopped doing coke at least and heavy drugs.
Did he stop punching the wall?
How
in his
can you
brother's
tell?
Oh no, that was a different dude.
How do you?
okay.
Yeah, it was a different
Bro,
guy.
you think-
How do you know? Oh yeah, this is horrible. That's definitely cut off. You can't do coke and punch the wall. You gotta do whatever.
You sick, bro? Hell no, bro.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, I suppose that could be a cutoff.
And
But
so,
also, he could
Dude tells
have
you-
just stopped telling you about it.
He could.
and so now that
But
you know
then,
he changed his
what
life,
if you see the symptoms of it though?
you gave him a second chance.
Like he's like mad jittery.
One of those
around
shits?
you,
All those all the time.
yeah. Yep. Scratching his neck, all that type of stuff, man.
A little bit of that baby powder on his nose.
Like Dave Chappelle.
Sure.
Is that what you're talking about?
Just
If he
coke
has, if he
symptoms.
has the symptoms, bro, it's like nah, it's a cutoff.
Fidgety, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to cut somebody off, realistically speaking, and it just depends on what you want and what you don't want in your life. You don't like coke in your life. You don't like.
And if he's doing it knowing that that's the line in the sand for you, then you can cut him off. That's fair game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if he changed that now, would you let him back in? Like, what if he, like you said, he turns his life around?
Oh,
so
he's
now
not
you
doing
give him a second
yeah,
chance?
Of course.
No more coke.
How do you know he stopped doing that? Well, how do you know his life changed so much?
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. They just like you have to look for the
Takes
symptoms.
care of himself better. You don't hear no more stories.
He's dressed a little bit better, maybe.
Yup.
You know,
He's doing.
he's more composed. He shows up at work on time. No more of that sniffling when he's at work. He does his job well. His efficiency's changed. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do, I suppose, to figure out. I mean, coke specific, I guess, to know if someone's changed. Personally, I don't know any.
Do you think you can ever like cut somebody off for their own benefit? Like that?
That means you're toxic, innit?
No, like what if they're engaging in destructive behaviors and like, yo, if you don't do this, I can't chill with you no more. And then they change their lives because of that conversation. Like, would you,
Oh, so at
like
that point, you're not cutting them off then?
No, like a constructive cutoff. Like, if you keep doing this, we can't be boys. So, off of his love for you, he changes his life for the better.
Oh,
So it's not a cutoff at that point,
Definitely-
though,
definitely
because you told him you will cut him off if
Right.
he doesn't change. So it's not really a cutoff.
Or maybe you ended up actually cutting him off, and then he changed it. Maybe it took that event for him to change his life.
I mean,
he
you
might
must
not be
have.
cool with you anymore though.
What do you mean?
Like he might like, oh, this dude cut me off.
Yeah.
I kind of need it in my life right now.
No, but you drew the line in the sand and
I
you
did draw a line,
violated
and
it.
It could be beneficial because they realize that, all right, this is actually pushing people out of my life, so I
So
need to
there's
change
right ways
it.
and wrong ways. We can talk about, like, I feel like we're going to need a part 2 for this. There's-
Perhaps.
Because I also want to talk about, like, I feel like what you guys did was good. Like, you did it in person. Like, I don't mess with that breaking up and cut it on over text and over the phone and stuff.
Oh.
I hate that.
Hey,
You know what?
hey.
Yeah,
Okay.
get back to that, man.
Well, we can talk about that in part 2.
I'll see you on next week.